I'm William Kumwembe with Business Time. This is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. And coming up in the program today, we speak with Finance Minister Joseph Mwanamvekha on rising public debt concerns. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned. Welcome. In our main story in the program today, Malawi is grappling with soaring public debt. Available figures show that the country's public debt stands at 21.6 trillion kwacha, a level deemed unsustainable. This comes as the expenditure surged nearly 5 times from 4.1 trillion kwacha in 2019 to 21.6 trillion kwacha, as revenue has remained static and in some cases are declining. This paints a gloomy picture as there are some rising fears of continued squeezed fiscal space with the ever-rising debt settlement obligation by the government. But Finance Minister Joseph Mwanamvekha has since spelled how Treasury intends to address the debt situation amid fiscal pressures that have caused high rates of borrowing in the country. He faces the uphill task of addressing food situation at the time forex position is also deteriorating. Talking to the press at Capitol Hill, Mwanamvekha said with stringent measures on expenditure, the pressures could be contained.
We have a lot of pressures in almost all the sectors, including agriculture, health, and other sectors. It's indeed true. As our president has said that as an economy, I think we have a lot of challenges. I think the main one is economic in nature. Issue about public debt and the revenue mobilization. It's indeed true, we're under pressure. But as the president said, it's our responsibility. Our responsibility that we need to address the challenges that are before us. And we are determined to ensure that those challenges are addressed. I think as we go on, I'm sure you'll be hearing that us will be announcing the specific reforms that we want to undertake in order to cut, mostly to cut on expenditure. Some of them the president has already highlighted. I'm sure he has mentioned. One of them is cutting on meetings, particularly those that are held outside Capitol Hill. He has indicated that. And also yesterday, I understand, he has also communicated that even for the new ministers, it's a maximum of 3 trips. I think he did indicate yesterday. Yes. He did indicate. I'm sure you know where we are coming from. I'm sure ministers have traveled, I don't know how many times. In some cases, I'm told even over 60 trips per annum for a minister. So our president is saying there will be a maximum of 3 trips, unless there's a specific reason. Maybe you are going out to raise money, to get money. Or maybe it can be Minister of Health, it can be another ministry. If it is to do that, there's value addition to your trip is when there can be. So your president has talked about cutting on expenditure. He has also, I think our president has directed us that through the ST, I think we need to undertake a lot of reforms. One of them is looking at our payroll. I think our payroll is so huge and uncontrollable. I want to see how best we can manage the payroll. And also some of expenditures, particularly importation of high-value items, like vehicles, for example. We still believe that we can find the room for cutting expenditure there. So there are a lot of them. And also would want to make sure that we stick to the budget as when it's approved by Parliament, because we have seen in the past 5 years that every time the minister goes to Parliament, there will be an extra budgetary appropriation that has been done. In some cases, I remember one of them, because I responded to the budget, in a particular year, government is spending over 600 billion Malawi kwacha over and above the budget. You can't say that budget is credible. If you can spend 600 billion over and above what was approved by Parliament, then it means that you are no longer following the budget. So our president has also said that we need to stick to the budget, ensuring that we manage our resources, like vehicles, for example.
Now, on Thursday, Mwanamvekha opened the 2025 Economics Association of Malawi ECAMA annual conference with a pledge to creditors that the government will not default on its debt obligations. The conference attracted economists and other players from the various sectors of the economy to discuss remedies of the challenges the local economy is facing. In an interview on the sidelines, Mwanamvekha hinted at engaging its creditors for debt restructuring. Kumwembe caught up with Mwanamvekha and has since filed this report.
According to Mwanamvekha, public expenditure and debt surged nearly 5 times from 4.1 trillion kwacha in 2019 to 21.6 trillion kwacha currently. This occurred against a background where revenues have remained static and in some cases are declining. Mwanamvekha says while the debt burden is significant, the government is committed to restructuring the debt rather than defaulting.
I want to assure you that we'll make sure that there is no default in terms of our debt. There will be no, that much we will try, but we have to restructure. In restructuring, we are looking at maybe lengthening or increasing the repayment period. We're also looking at maybe reducing the interest rates. And also in some cases we are asking for a debt relief. I'm sure you have seen the Chinese government have written off of course the 20 million. So we are discussing debt relief. We're also asking for a moratorium. A moratorium is where they will tell us maybe for a specific period you should not pay. You should not pay both the principal plus interest. That's what we are discussing with our debtors. That is the foreign. Because our major creditors are the multilaterals. This is the World Bank, IMF, African Development Bank, and the African Bank. So we are discussing that. We also have, those are the multilaterals. The bilaterals are China, mostly India and China. We are also addressing that. Locally, we'll also be discussing with the banks, mostly banks and the pension funds. That's the Measure and the NICO. Because that's where most of our debt is. So we'll also be discussing with them how do we look at restructuring in terms of increasing the repayment period, looking at interest rates, and also looking at whether indeed, not necessarily a moratorium for the locals, otherwise how do they fund that, because the money they use belongs to the people. So basically that's what we'll be discussing.
But is this the answer to Malawi's debt woes? A question for Economics Association of Malawi President Betha Chikadza.
I think the challenges are many. When we look at the fiscal, we're looking at high debt, we're looking at expenditures being more than revenue. We have seen domestic revenue declining and even sometimes being stagnant, and this has also probed the ministry to borrow more, even domestically. We've seen the interest rates where the government is borrowing being high, and this is also increasing the domestic debt. We are looking at, for example, foreign exchange problems, which the minister also talked about, that even when you're looking at import cover, it's now less than a month, maybe just a week or two. So there are a lot of problems. Some are climate shocks that I think as an economy we cannot do much about it, but at least we can anticipate and maybe plan accordingly. So there are a lot of problems, but as ECAMA we have always provided solutions, but even sometimes making some calculations on how certain things should go. They are not like very quick fixes, but as a country that is struggling with foreign exchange problems, I think development partners should come through quickly so that at least we can stabilize some of the macros. When we look at the domestic debt, which is high, and most of it is coming from the commercial banks, pension funds and so on, yes, we should say discussing with these is actually critical, because they are the ones who are actually holding the key on how the country should move in terms of debt. We are spending a lot of money paying interest payments and also paying debt repayments for these. And I think if they can come on the table and discuss, then it should actually give a relief to the ministry, but also the government.
Africa Development Bank country economist Albert Mufusire says debt servicing is a huge burden and Malawi is transferring it to future generations.
Remember, this is Business Time, a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. My name is William Kumwembe. We'll be right back.
Every structure begins as an idea, but it's the finishing touches that bring it to life. At Stevenson's Paints, we believe in finishes that do more than cover. They define. From concept to completion, our products support professionals and visionaries at every stage. Whether you're designing a home, building a business, or managing large-scale development, Stevens offers a paint solution tailored for your surface, environment, and standard of excellence. Each product in our range is engineered for lasting performance, precise application, and true color consistency. Tried, tested, trusted. We understand that quality paint isn't just about appearance, it's about protection, value, and long-term results. That's why tradespeople and industry leaders rely on Stevenson's Paints to get it right. The first time, every time.
Welcome back. This is Business Time, a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. And my name is William Kumwembe. Moving on with the program. Small-scale business operators and tourists are set to benefit from the newly launched Malawian-owned Nkosi luxury coaches services linking Blantyre and Johannesburg. The company's operations manager, Steve Mkomba, said the cross-border route offers traders, tourists and transporters a reliable and affordable alternative to air travel and informal transport. More in this report.
A new era of cross-border travel has begun. Nkosi Luxury Coaches has officially launched its Blantyre-Johannesburg route, a service expected to revolutionize both small-scale trade and tourism between Malawi and South Africa. The newly introduced coaches are not just ordinary buses. They are state-of-the-art, built for comfort, safety, and efficiency. Each coach is fitted with soft reclining seats, air conditioning, onboard Wi-Fi, USB charging ports, and entertainment screens to make the long journey pleasant and relaxing. Operations Manager Steve Mkomba says the company is committed to making travel between the two countries more efficient and enjoyable.
We hope to give people the best, we want to be the best in the industry. That's why we got these buses, so that at least people should travel comfortably. We have all sorts of entertainment. There's Wi-Fi on board, and the seats are comfy, very comfortable, and we have our crew we believe it's the best, so we hope that the passengers will have fun.
The new route will make a significant impact on small-scale business operators who often face difficulties transporting goods and traveling to South Africa for trade. With Nkosi Luxury Coaches, traders will now have a reliable and affordable option that ensures both them and their goods arrive on time and in good condition.
This service has come at the right time. Before, travel was stressful and uncomfortable. Now, I can rest, feel safe, and focus on my business, knowing I'll reach Johannesburg smoothly.
Beyond trade, the service is also expected to enhance tourism, offering both Malawians and international visitors a comfortable and scenic way to explore Southern Africa.
It's a game changer. I can now plan for my trips confidently, knowing the bus is reliable and comfortable. It also means better communication with my suppliers and customers in South Africa.
So kubera kwa basi ya enkosi isitupangisa ifeyo kuti maprogramu athu amene timapanga mu business kuti tipange mobila nthawi.
With the comfort of an airplane and the affordability of a bus, Nkosi Luxury Coaches aims to bridge the distance between Malawi and South Africa, boosting business communication, strengthening regional ties, and promoting tourism across borders.
Now, another business news. Whether it's business or running the wheels of justice, efficiency and accuracy is key for productivity and desired results. This is an aspect that the Bankers Association of Malawi also recognizes. The association has since donated a state-of-the-art court recording systems to the Malawi judiciary to improve the accuracy and efficiency of court proceedings. The support is aimed at driving digital transformation in the judiciary system as well as promote local innovation. Benedetta Chwandamia has the whole story.
The Makono Smart Digital Court Reporter is an innovation developed by a Malawian innovator and captures verbatim records of court cases and automatically generates transcriptions, reducing reliance on manual reporting. Bankers Association of Malawi Vice President Noel Nkuliji said the association engaged a local innovator to develop the system in order to promote homegrown solutions as well as advance the Buy Malawi drive.
All the delays in terms of cases is because it takes time for the courts to come up with a report, to come up with a decision, to come up with a judgment. We believe with this system we should be able to see changes, we should be able to see improvement. So it was on that basis that we thought we could start with providing this system. What we did is when we sat down in BAM, we said, what is it that we can do to ensure that this is homegrown? And that's why we scouted around, asking for quotations from different perspectives from the Malawi sector. And we came up with the one who has actually developed this system. When we evaluated what he had submitted, and we thought this is the best, and indeed it is the best.
Chief Justice Rezin Mzigamanda commended Bankers Association of Malawi for the gesture, describing the innovation as a boost to the judiciary's ongoing digital transformation efforts. Mzigamanda said the system will help phase out manual reporting, which he described as slow, tedious, and prone to error.
We received this with a lot of thankfulness. And we are so happy that the Bankers Association of Malawi have reached out to partner with us in order to do digital innovation in the judiciary. We have been talking with the Bankers Association. We've been discussing because the judiciary has an open door policy. And when we talked, they understood what our concerns were and they have come up with this support. It will go a long way to speed up cases, recording equipment, which will record the goings on in court and will produce transcriptions in real time. And that will speed up even the processing of appeals. So we are very excited about this.
Recently, the judiciary also launched its first ever ICT policy and inaugurated an ICT laboratory in a drive to promote digital transformation to make justice delivery faster, smarter, and more inclusive.
Well, with that story, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time. It is a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. On behalf of the entire production team, thank you for watching. My name is William Kumwembe, but always remember, if it doesn't make money, then it doesn't make sense. Stay safe and goodbye for now.
Every structure begins as an idea, but it's the finishing touches that bring it to life. At Stevenson's Paints, we believe in finishes that do more than cover. They define. From concept to completion, our products support professionals and visionaries at every stage. Whether you're designing a home, building a business, or managing large-scale development, Stevens offers a paint solution tailored for your surface, environment, and standard of excellence. Each product in our range is engineered for lasting performance, precise application, and true color consistency. Tried, tested, trusted. We understand that quality paint isn't just about appearance, it's about protection, value, and long-term results. That's why tradespeople and industry leaders rely on Stevenson's paints to get it right. The first time, every time.